The health benefits of fasting is not a myth. There is a reason why a Japanese scientist won the Nobel Prize in 2016 for the autophagy effect. The health benefits of fasting is not a myth. Fasting, especially dry fasting, where you don't eat or drink anything, this is when the autophagy effect is most effective. There are countless of research articles, countless of studies. Virtually every animal they've tested have gained some benefits from fasting. For example, they increased the lifespan of these mice by calorie restriction or fasting. Calorie restriction is a form of fasting. Now, scientists have done this on mice. Those mice who constantly eat and get fat, they have lesser lifespan in comparison to those who have a restricted diet. Those who eat less gain more life. It is true that dead cells, such as dead protein cells, can get reutilized by the body through the autophagy effect. You don't have to research to understand that fasting is natural. You just have to observe and use common sense. Think about it. In nature, when would we be able to constantly eat like we do in the modern civilization? Never. We would never be able to do this. We would never be able to constantly eat and never stop. And even worse, constantly eat fast food that is high in protein, high in fat, and high in carbs. When you combine all three macronutrients, the body will overproduce the hormone ghrelin. And this is part of the obesity problem. So when you eat, for example, on McDonald's, you eat bread that is high carbs, you eat meat that is high protein, then you eat fries and that is high fat because you have a lot of fat from the vegetable oils. Not only that, the vegetable oils contain a lot of omega-6 and you get virtually no omega-3 because you have meat instead of fish. So you need some fish as well, or some organ meats. But there is no fast food chain that sells organ meats, not that I know of anyway. You gotta realize that in nature, our ancestors would have had gone for days, perhaps even weeks, without any food. Our body is meant to go into ketosis. When the body gets into ketosis, ketones are produced. These are molecules that are basically energy. The body creates energy molecules so that it can sustain brain function, organ function, and so forth. And it does this when it doesn't have any other source. So that's why it takes the fuel source on your body. That's why you store fat. So the body starts to take fat and transform it into ketones or other stuff it needs. The fat contains nutrition, minerals, and vitamins that you need in times of food scarcity. And so the body is very smart. You can also look at it like this. There is a reason why every religion has some sort of fasting. Muslims fast for 1 month during Ramadan, for example. Jesus, for example, fasted for 40 days and 40 nights in the desert. Now, Christians don't do this, but some Christians have actually fasting routines every so often. You have religions such as Buddhism and Jainism, and you also have Hinduism, a combination of different religions. Judaism, they also have some fasting. Every single religion and folk tradition has some sort of fasting. And there is a reason for this. You can even ask your grandparents. I asked my grandmother, and she told me that she actually fasted at some point. She even ate organs such as brain, which I didn't expect at all. Brain contains a lot of fat, so our ancestors would have eaten brain, they would have eaten liver, kidneys, everything. They wouldn't spare anything, they would eat everything from the animal. There were even tribes who would force exile on a person who wouldn't properly kill his hunt. Now in the modern world, food is abundant. We don't have food scarcity. And so we need to simulate this, and we do that best with fasting. Everyone who wants to be healthy needs to implement a fasting routine into their lives. You need some sort of intermittent fasting routine, and you need some sort of prolonged fasting routine as well every so often to heal your body. So for example, you can implement a 1 meal a day routine every day, but then every 2 or 3 months, you implement some dry fasting for, let's say, 3 days, where you don't eat or drink anything. Now there is also hard dry fasting and there is soft dry fasting. Hard dry fasting is when you don't touch water at all. Soft dry fasting is when you clean your hands and perhaps even shower. When you dry fast, you'll notice that the autophagy effect is much, much stronger. Personally, I had this old left shoulder injury that I healed with dry fasting. The first thing I did when I dry fasted, when I discovered dry fasting and fasting in general, I started a 36-hour dry fast. I could feel my kidneys cleaning out. I could feel all these toxins from eating garbage foods like Coca-Cola, like pizzas, like chocolate and candy. I wasn't big on candy, but chips and other snacks. I could feel my old injury like radiating. It was like vibrating almost. I could almost feel it like that. Now this was the first one. That was 36 hours. My other ones cleaned this injury even further. And on my recent dry fast, I never feel my shoulder. But I do feel the kidneys every so often. Even if you eat super clean food, you need to dry fast every so often, because the body has to remove all these toxins that always appear anyway. And so my injury is gone. The acne on my back is forever gone. A cleaner diet helped me with the acne as well. My mood swings helped me most from the diet. But fasting taught me resilience and strength even further. Fasting will get you rid of food addiction and sugar addiction. If you have a weight disorder, fasting will cure this as well, because you will go so deep within yourself to your instincts. See my What is Despair video for a more look at what instinct means according to my own language. If you have an eating disorder, you'll understand what food is. You'll understand that it's fuel. You'll understand that fat people don't fast, that fat people combine things. You'll understand, and you'll never be afraid again of food to get fat again. You'll also reset your metabolism. You'll fix your mood swings. You'll fix your dopamine receptors. You'll fix everything with fasting. You can heal your gut. You can heal your leaky gut and so forth. You can't heal with food, because if you constantly eat, the body can never recover. It can never relax. That's why I could feel my kidneys. They never relax. They constantly have to filter whatever I put inside my mouth, be it water, be it food, be it fruits, and so forth. Even worse, when you constantly eat, and you constantly eat the westernized diet, you constantly put inflammation in your body. Your pancreas goes crazy. You need to eat more clean, but you also need to fast. Even when you eat clean, you need healing. You need relaxation, you need recovery, and so forth. Your organs need recovery. So from an evolutionary standpoint, fasting only makes complete sense. It makes complete sense when we observe the world. It makes complete sense when we observe the natural world, when we observe other animals. Virtually every animal has ketosis. Virtually every animal fasts. Virtually every animal rests their body. They eat, and then they rest, then they hunt again, and then they continue with this routine. Now, like I said, we have to simulate this in the modern world, so you have to implement intermittent fasting. You can fast, for example, for 16 hours, 18 hours, 20 hours, whatever you want to. You can try one meal a day, and you can eat 1 hour during the day. This is great for maintaining weight, but if you want to increase your weight, you can add 1 or 2 hours more to your OMAD. And make sure you always weigh yourself every morning so that you understand where you're at, if you want to increase or maintain your weight. And so our distant ancestors, 2.6 million years ago, when they started to eat a lot of meat, this is also when our brain size increased. We started bipedalism, we started to walk on 2 feet, we started to speak, and we started to cook our meat. Because when we cooked our meat, we could eat more. We could eat more meat. We could eat more energy. When we started eating meat, we stopped constantly eating all day long. Look at other primates. They constantly eat. They have no time to do anything else. This is how we started building civilization. This is why we're here. This is why I'm filming here. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. If our ancestors still ate fruits, only fruits, vegetables, and so forth, I wouldn't stand here and talk here. And you wouldn't watch me. We would still have been in the trees. We wouldn't have gone down. we wouldn't have increased our brain size. We wouldn't have a need for these tools to hunt all these mammoths and other wild game back in the ice ages. But these distant ancestors also didn't eat all the time. They also fasted. You got to realize that food and water is not abundant. It is limited in nature. It is still limited, but we don't feel it in the Western world. And so everyone needs to fast to be healthy, and everyone needs to eat clean, ancestral diet to be healthy. If you have any problems with diet, sleep, exercise, or meditation, on working on yourself, you can contact me. The email is down below. You can check out my Quora answers. You can also check out my Facebook page. Make sure to comment down below, like the video, share the video in real life. Like I always say, keep on working on yourself. Keep on focusing only on yourself. Everything will be great. Everything will be fine. See you guys tomorrow.